record, and we are recording. And one more time, welcome to those just joining in. Please join the Nearpod link there on the screen or in the chat, and that should take you right into the lesson that we'll be using to kind of go through. And you can have that open in another window. I'll be controlling the slides, and as long as you can still hear me in Zoom, shouldn't have to negotiate too many different windows. So. Okay, one more time. Welcome, Jordan. There's a link in the chat for our Nearpod. Those of you who've been in here for 10 minutes, I apologize for continually repeating myself, but no one can see the chat until they join the session. So let's just put that up here. If you'd like to just go to join.nearpod.com, the code there is YFLGU. If you have the link in the chat, that should just take you straight in to the Nearpod. Let's see how many people we have in the session now. We've got 10. We're pretty close there. Let's wait a couple more minutes to get some more people in. It's good to see everybody. Today we're going to be looking at Flipgrid. It is a great tool to allow you to have some different kind of conversations and discussions with your students, as well as allowing them to respond or reply or demonstrate understanding to you in a different way. A lot of times, we get stuck doing the same old thing, do this paper, especially in our classes that we do for the EdTech endorsement, there's a whole lot of weekly, here's a discussion, we'll talk about this, and then you have an assignment to do each week, and it can be, kind of the same thing over and over again. But Flipgrid, there's a lot of great ways you can use it for assessment, for engagement, and so we'll get into that. And if you're just joining in, there's a link in the chat to get you into the Nearpod, or the join code is there on the screen. And we will continue from there shortly. In fact, right now. So I'm going to change my screen. I'm glad to see folks here today. I was hopeful that you wouldn't forget me over a week. I hope, I'll send out another calendar reminder for next week's meeting. And let me know, please feel free to open up your mic if you have questions at any time, or if I'm talking about something you can't see. So I'm trying to manage, a bunch of people in the chat and everything else. So, but welcome, great to see everybody. Glad you are here. And let me advance. There we go. I'm going to hide student names. And please let me control the screen there. There we go. And please do remember to use those Nearpod notes if you'd like. It's a handy feature. And they'll give you a copy of your slides plus all of your responses and things like that. And to see that, remember you go up to the upper right-hand corner and open up that little notes button, and then choose to receive your notes either via email or save them to your Google Drive. And as soon as I end this session, you'll get a copy of those notes, or feel free to access those notes there at the bit.ly/TechTipTuesday TT Flipgrid. And that'll give you the Google Slides, and you can add those to your drive or do whatever you like to do. All right, again, if you're just joining in, there's a link in the chat to jump into this Nearpod, or go to join.nearpod.com and use the code there in the upper left. All right, so first, a little brief disclaimer. Flipgrid is a great tool, but it may not. There could be some student data privacy issues if it is used incorrectly. Your district should have some guidance on how and if this is a tool that's available for you to use. I know on the IRON website, we just switch over to that quickly and bring that into view. They've got from their website, they have a little link under the educators tab or whatever that says acceptable apps. And so for Flipgrid, they've got a little parent note here that says you can use it, but as long as you're only using nicknames, or if you get parental permission from students to be able to use that. So so I don't get angry emails from your principals and things like that. Make sure that Flipgrid is approved, or if there are any considerations or things you need to do in order to use it in your schools. And if you don't know where to find that information, just send me an email afterwards, and we'll make sure you're good to go as we can. So what I'd like to do, and why I have you in this Nearpod, is I just want to jump right in and have you guys participate in a Nearpod. So hopefully, and you'll see that Flipgrid integrates nicely with Nearpod. And so now hopefully on your screens, you should have a Flipgrid question that will allow you to answer a response to this or that, this question. Do you consider yourself an early bird or a night owl? And so there should be a big plus button there. I'm going to join this Nearpod activity just to make sure that I'm seeing what you guys are seeing, and I can play along. Let's admit Denise. Okay, so take a minute or two. I've limited the clip or your response to just 30 seconds. So you got to be able to tell me if you're either one and why you would say that in about 30 seconds. So. Okay. For some reason, my iPad doesn't want to work on the network today. Let's try that. That's a little better. And if you're having questions, connect to the internet. It is too. Oh, it's not now. Let me try it on my phone. I'm having technical issues. Isn't that fun? Code is YF LGU. And if you're just joining us again, one more time for folks joining in late, I have a link in the chat to this Nearpod lesson for you to just join right in quickly. All right, big green button. It's not a red button, it's a green button to show your responses. Record a response. I have to use the app. Oh, doggone it. All right, let me refresh this. See if we have some responses coming in. Oh, I need to come here. This or that. Got 8 responses there. And so this is what I see on my side. Does anyone have or does not want me to share one of your responses? If you don't want me to share your response, open up your mic and say, please don't share my response. Otherwise, I'll show a couple of them here. And I'm going to stop my screen share. I just need to make sure that my screen audio is going to come through. So I'm going to stop sharing and share it one more time. Aha, and I didn't check that button. Make sure I share my computer sound. All right. I know I'm going to use my boss as an example, my director here, Joby. So let's take a look at his response here. If I can do it, activate share actions. Let's see. Oh, I got Sean's instead.
I am definitely the early bird.
Questions?
I love getting up in the morning, the 5-second rule, and planning out my day.
Thanks, Sean. So now I can click on the next one, see what Tyler had to say.
I consider myself a night owl because I like my sleep. Simple as that.
Here we go.
I am a night owl up to 10 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm an early bird.
That's a great response. Let's see Joby's. Ah, well done. That was his, so I think he was doing his video as his selfie, but he's telling us that he's a night owl. It looks like, or I don't know, Joby, is that, if you're sleepy, does that mean that you're an early bird because you like your sleep, or does that mean that you're a night owl because you can't sleep?
That means I couldn't decide.
Ah.
I like sleep, but I don't mind waking up in the morning.
Very good. I like sleep too, but it never seems to come to me easily. So, but thank you for your responses. I appreciate that. And you can see that those are kind of fun to do your responses. Hopefully you all saw the little selfie there at the end. Let me come back here. Let's see. I think active, it's active, share. I'm going to copy the link and maybe just go to the response page that you guys are seeing. So that was on the teacher side. That's just Joby's response. Let me see, let's go back to this or that. And then I can click share and copy that link and open that in the new tab. And so that's what you guys will see on your end. There's your selfies. Drake's coming in, very nice selfie, Joby, I like that. Okay, and so you can see that it's a fun way to have students answer a question, kind of be engaging. Whitney found the frames and the backgrounds. I try to get creative with my my selfie that I did for my initial post. I had to find a little early bird and an owl there for my response. So just a fun way to do a little bit different, engaging sort of activity with your students. All right, so that was a lot of fun. I thought it was cool. It's fun to engage with those. There are apps as well. Flipgrid does have an app that students can use, or anywhere they have a web browser with a webcam and microphone. Their Chromebooks works great on there. So the way to get signed or to start is to sign in. So Flipgrid's free to use. I'm sure it's free to use up to a point. I didn't run into any limits or anything like that. If you know, if there's any sort of eventual cost that's associated with Flipgrid, will you put that in the chat or open up your microphone and let us know if you know about that? I didn't get that far today, so I need to see my participant screen. But so what I'm going to do is on the next slide, it'll open up the Flipgrid educator page, the login page, and just click that button that says login with Google login, and that should allow you to jump in. And so I am already logged in. If you switch back to if you click on if you're on my Zoom screen, or sorry, on the Nearpod screen, you should be able to click that Google login button, give it the permissions needed, and you should have an account set up and ready to go. And so all I did for this is under topics, I just click the button add a topic, and then I get these options here. So a title is kind of maybe kind of an overarching thing. So I just on this or that. And so another question I could have asked from your folks today, or from you guys, is I could have asked cake or pie. And that can lead to a whole big messy debate, as far as people have strong opinions on that. Or maybe even more stronger opinions could be pineapple on pizza, or that's an abomination. Okay, let's see, keep adding folks in. So I put in my question. I can set the amount of time I'll allow the students to record, up to 10 minutes, as short as 15 seconds. I think the shorter responses are better, but it depends on, the topic and the question that you're asking. And again, oops, let's see, that's not the right one. For folks just joining in to get into my Nearpod session, I'm going to put that link back in the chat if I can find it. There we go. 3, paste it there to everybody. Apologies. I need to get a moderator for these. Let's see. All right. And so then I can add media. I recorded a little video for you. So I recorded myself asking the question for you. If you have video somewhere else, you can do that. Or you can add a Giphy, emoji, all kinds of fun little interactive, engaging prompts for your question. And then under access control, I made this one public just because I knew that I'd have teachers from all over the place joining in, but you could also make it private with student email and just put in your school's. So like if I was in Iron County, I would just say at ironschools.org, and it would allow students from ironschools.org to access this topic and log in. You can also set up student usernames if you want to go through and set that up, or upload a report from your grade system. And there are other options. I could go through a ton of them, but basically I just click on create topic. There was an issue saving this topic. Where are we at here? Oh, I just make it public. Create topic. There we go. And so now it says my topic is ready. There's the public link that I could copy and share out through Canvas. I could click the share straight to Google Classroom button. There's embed code. I had trouble trying to get the embed code working in Canvas today, but there is an LTI for Canvas that'll allow you to, with 2 different links, and maybe I'll do a quick little tutorial and share this out with you later on, but you need the public link. So once I copy that, and then I say all set, and then in Canvas, I would also need the entire link, this big long link. And if I give Canvas both of those links, you could actually embed this Flipgrid activity straight in Canvas, and your students won't have to log in or do anything else. Since they're already authenticated in Canvas, they should be in and good to go. And then once I've got that activity going, I can view the responses as they come in, and all kinds of other things you can do with it. But again, today we're just doing a quick little introduction, showing you Flipgrid and getting you started on that. So here's some additional links. These are all great links straight from Flipgrid. There's an excellent page with educators on how to get started. There's a getting started for students. There's also a video you can share with your students there. That's very helpful with your students to get going, and a link to the Help Center. And they also do little 30-hour Flipgrid specific professional development sessions if you want to learn more. There is not a badge or credential or any little course for Flipgrid yet from UEN. I wouldn't be surprised if there is one coming down the road sometime. And what does it work with? I kind of spilled the beans on that already. So Flipgrid does, it's easy to share. You can add it to Nearpod activities, as you saw just there. It directly integrates with Google Classroom. Click one button, tell it which classroom course you want it to go to, and it'll be there. In Canvas, I'll do a little video for the Canvas LTI, and I'll send along when I give you guys credit for this session and share that. There is embed code that you can use with other LMS systems, or there's a QR code button where students can just point their cell phones or their smartphones at the screen with the QR code, and their camera will pick that up and just open up the Flipgrid app or take them to the web so they can respond from a device or a tablet, things like that. And then there's a link to the sharing information page there from Flipgrid itself. So lots of ways to get your content to your students. So are you starting to get any ideas of how you can use Flipgrid with your students? If you do, I'd love to have you guys open up your mic and say, oh, I'd like to maybe try it with this or with this. If you're just kind of intrigued by the idea, but don't know where to start, here are some really great resources from websites. This 50 Ways to Use Flipgrid from Ditch That Textbook. He was our keynote speaker from the USEC conference back in March. Great educator. And this link right there has lots and lots of great ideas and for you to start sharing your Flipgrid. So helps on creating an account, a free educator guide, some quick, I kind of got the idea, would you rather, you could do 2 truths and a lie for some introduction, and then different activities, ideas for English, language arts, and reflect and assess, math activities. There's all kinds of suggestions and things like that there for you. Plus some other good resources there that are ready for you to review and start using Flipgrid in your instruction. So that's all I got. Any other questions or things that I can help ask or help reply to? Let me see if I can, oops, I'll get this link to the next page. I'll open that up. We'll take you to the role, but I was going to try to copy that into, let me stop my share quickly. Let me copy this link to get that into the chat. It does not want to copy. Let me go to my actual slide here. Let's copy that. All right, so the role form is now in the chat, and I'll also advance the Nearpod lesson 1 frame, which should take you to the role form. And again, your full Cactus name is what I need. Your school email address, and then your Cactus ID if you know it. That's not required, but I do just need your name and your email address for that. So that's all I have. Happy to stick around and answer questions for you guys. Unmute your mic. Talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking, what you thought of Flipgrid. Comments, questions. It's so quiet.
Jordan has a great comment in the chat, Clint.
Thank you. Let me check the chat. In my Spanish class, we have been doing self-introductions. Very good. You could use the guess who at the students, as the students talk about their characteristics. I like it. And Sandra, maybe I just got it, but you didn't see it on my screen yet. I apologize if you're lost. I know 15 minutes isn't a ton of time. Please reach out if you'd like me to kind of do some one-on-one time with you. I'm happy to walk you or anybody else through this tool. This is just meant to be a quick introduction for folks today. By no means should you know everything about Flipgrid after our 20 minutes today. So let me put my contact information up on the screen for you. And again, please do reach out if after today you've got questions or want to follow up on anything. So let me do my screen share.
Hey, Clint,
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
Sean. I really like when you opened up and not too many people were in, but you talked about the button off to the right side, the notes, you called it?
For Nearpod, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
And that would help out the people that are lost tremendously to
Yeah,
make
so
sure they do
great
that.
idea.
So
Yeah. So if you're on that Nearpod window still, on the upper right, there's a little document with a pencil icon on it. If you click and open that up, that will allow you to get a copy of this slideshow with some notes and things like that, emailed directly to you or saved right to your Google Drive.
yeah, that's awesome.
Clint, what about next week?
I skipped right over that. So for the next month, we got our schedule set up for next month. I thought we'd kind of focus on Adobe Spark next month. I know fall break is kind of in there for you guys in between the 13th and the 21st-ish. But I think post and video are probably ones that would be of most interest to you guys. On the 13th of October, we've got Chris Hott coming in to do a guest spot for us to talk about the Sora ebook library. And your challenge, her challenge, my challenge to her and yours to her is to keep her to 15 minutes. Chris is passionate about her library stuff and her books and things like that. And she's sometimes can get excited and go a little bit longer than 15 minutes. So, but that's what we're going to cover next week. I will send out another calendar reminder and reminders for those folks who are here on our next upcoming topics. And I do appreciate the folks who are here today. And again, happy to hang out till 4 o'clock or whenever everybody leaves. And I will post this, the recording to this on our YouTube channel. I think it's, do I have the link for that there? I didn't include that link, but I'll make sure I have that next time. Thanks everybody in the chat. Appreciate that. Hope you guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
This was awesome. This will be
Yeah.
fun to play with. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
it's a fun tool.
Yes, it
It's a
looks
fun
great.
tool.
Thanks again for your time. This
bet.
was awesome.